Zoshia, the final boss of the main story of the game. I'm going to really quickly go ahead and say, if you haven't actually fought this guy, and you actually do plan on playing the game, stop now and just actually experience this fight yourself. It's not really that bad. If you've made it to this point, you're not going to have any trouble killing him, and you only get to fight him once for now. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but you should stop now and just experience it, because man, it is a cool fight. Everything about this is just really entertaining. So, spoilers starting now. This guy is apparently some sort of amalgamation weapon that the ancient Wyverians made. More or less what it seems like is Capcom took a hold of the fan theory of the anti-dragon weapon and turned it into an actual thing. At least as close as what it's going to get to that actual thing. As you're going through the fight, you'll notice he has aspects of a lot of the black dragons, and he definitely fights in very reminiscent ways to them. Like, there's points where he does attacks that are very reminiscent of Fatalis, white Fatalis, red Fatalis, pick whichever one you want to talk about. He actually does some stuff that seems to be kind of reminiscent of each of them. There's things about the way he shifts around that reminds me of Elatrion, but at the end of the day, it's just really cool. The breaking the little spiky bits off of him is reminiscent of the fight against Jindahad. So clearly that thing was around whenever they made this guy. He is just this weird amalgam of a bunch of other things that have led up to this point. And as the fight progresses, what you see is more and more of that dark core start to peek its way out. And man, is it cool as he reveals himself. You'll see it here in just a little bit. By the way, the video blipped just a minute ago. Basically what happened was I ran out of recording time, and so I had to restart the recorder. So I just kind of stood still. That's why you see a little bit of a gap, and then him just coming over and smacking me. It's because I didn't want to do any of the fight until I actually got the recording started back again. But that opened me up to get smacked. He does cart me once. It's at least partly because I was just messing around and trying to break different parts that I could. I knew this was the only time I was coming through this fight, at least for now. And so I took my time, tried to see what happened whenever you hit different places. Didn't really see anything super surprising until this shit happened. Suddenly now he has a head very reminiscent of Fatalis. And you can actually start seeing that he is some sort of weird amalgam creature. Notice he's got the little hand wing things reminiscent of Gore Magala. And actually, the way the little fingers on the hand work really reminds me more of Shara Shvalda than Gore, but it's a similar idea for both of them, I guess, really. Really cool fight. I believe the reason why he has no armor and you only fight him once at low rank is because this is the dude. See, okay, let's expand a little bit. Capcom has been hinting that there's going to be a monster coming with the title update that is actually going to be harder than Tempered. I have a feeling this is the guy they're going to introduce. They're going to come in with a true high rank end game version of him, and it's going to be him at full strength. Because if you notice, this is the Guardian version of him. And just like how Arkveld has a non-Guardian version that's substantially harder, I would bet this guy has a non-Guardian version that's more or less just him no longer holding back. And I'm all for it. I think they didn't put any sort of armor or weapon or any of that stuff in because they really wanted you to get the gear off of the fully ramped up version. I mean, think about it. This dude was supposed to be strong enough to destroy ancient Wyveria, which none of the other Elder Dragons that we fought in the series were capable of doing. They are definitely not going to stop with the low rank version of him. I wouldn't be terribly surprised if he doesn't end up being the final boss, like in whatever the final update is to this game, if they don't release some sort of massive, ultra hard version of him. I would expect a high rank version to come soon-ish, but I would also expect that on down the road, they release some sort of version of him that does a full on hardcore transformation into something super evil looking. Honestly, he kind of reminds me of the cooler version of Deathwing from World of Warcraft, at least his face does. But no, this is just a really cool fight. You've already spoiled a decent amount of it for yourself if you've watched up to this point, but if you haven't taken a look at the timestamp really quickly, this is a longer video. It takes a minute to kill him. It's a fun fight, and you can cherish the whole thing because, again, unless you start a new save file, this is the only time you're going to get to fight him, at least for a little bit. So it wasn't really a problem that it took a while. But I would recommend fighting it all yourself. I'd appreciate if you've listened to this point, but even now it's still not too late to just go ahead and stop. There's more things that happen throughout the fight that make it worthwhile to see it yourself. Anyway, I'm going to stop here and let you enjoy this fight if you're actually here just to watch it. Have a good night, and remember, if I can beat it, so can you.
Are you all right? Let's check over your equipment and get you resupplied. What do you think we'll find? I'll just hop on. You're not taking me down.
chance.